Welcome back everyone, this is Rookie Shack and this week we have been looking at Venusaur and how best to utilise it. So today we are once again back with a team to try and see how we can best utilise this Pokemon. So without further ado, let's get started. Now to begin with, obviously we start with the Venusaur and we turn it into a Mega, which requires it to have the Venusaur right. This seems to be unanimously the best way to utilise Venusaur, which then also gives it the Thick Fat ability, which halves the damage from fire and ice type moves, which is perfect really. Can't really come up with a better way to utilise Venusaur than that really. So on to the moveset, we've got the Leech Seed, which just consistently takes off a bit of HP off the opponent consistently. Sludge Bomb to hopefully get that poison. Synthesis just to get that health back up, and Hidden Power of Fire, which is always useful depending on what weaknesses come up throughout play and also to surprise your opponent. For the IV spread, again 0 attack spread. Then for EVs, 252 on HP, 252 on defense, and 4 on special attack this time, with a bold nature that further increases that defense. This is really to try and make Venusaur as bulky as possible, especially with its amount of resistance, just allows it to take as many hits as possible. Landorus-Therian with its Rockium Z, this is really to utilise its ground type ability as much as possible. From there we go on to the Intimidate for the ability, which is just a godsend, especially when you go up against certain heavy hitters. For the moves, we've got Swords Dance to increase users' attack power, Super Power, which is just that fighting type move, big hitter, Earthquake, another big hitter, and then lastly we have Stone Edge that just has a high critical rate, so quite a heavy hitter, this Landorus this time around. IVs full spread, EVs 252 on HP, 4 on defense, and 252 on speed, with a jolly nature further increasing the speed just to allow it to outspeed most opponents. Then we've got the Toxapex with Black Sludge. This just allows it to regain a bit of health each time, and Regenerator, which allows it to gain a little bit of HP back every time it is switched out, which is very useful, especially in competitive playing where you're consistently switching in and out regularly. On the moveset, we've got Scald, which is a water type move, but then should hopefully get a burn onto the opponent. Protect, just protects you in case something dangerous comes across. Recover, just get a bit of health back. And Toxic Spikes, which is a bit like Stealth Rock, but allows you to poison the opponent instead. IV is a 0 attack spread, 248 on the HP, 8 on defense, and 252 on special defense. Try and bulk out this and make it as defensive as possible, with a calm nature to increase its special defense. After that, we've got Heatran, again another quite bulky Pokemon, with its leftovers just to try and regain some health each turn, and the ability of Flash Fire, which increases its fire type moves if it's hit with one and gives it fire type immunity, which is excellent, or fire move immunity. Moves, we've got Lava Plume, which has the chance of getting the burn and is also quite heavy hitter of a move. Earth Power to try and lower the special defense, Toxic to get that poison, and lastly Roar to switch out from Pokemon that are being quite frustrating. IV spread is 0 attack, and EV's 252 on HP, 252 on special attack, and 4 on special defense, with a modest nature for increasing that special attack, really focusing in on that Lava Plume. After that, we've got Tapu Koko. This time we're adding a Thunder type Pokemon to the set with the Zap Plate just to further enhance that electric side of its moveset. Then its ability is Electric Surge. On switching, this Pokemon summons Electric Terrain just to emphasize it a little bit more, gives it more of a terrain advantage, with Thunderbolt as a chance to paralyze the Pokemon, quite a heavy hitter. Volt Switch so that you can fight and then switch into something that may be better effective against the Pokemon you're playing against. Hidden Power Ice, just take out those tricky dragon types. And lastly, Defog, just to clear the hazards. The IV spread, again, 0 attack spread. EVs 252 on special attack, 4 on special defense, and 252 on speed. The timid nature just to further increase that speed, making it like Landorus, quite a quick Pokemon just to quickly outspeed your opponent where possible. Lastly, we've got the Kyurem-Black, a Pokemon I don't necessarily get to use that often. Item it's held is a Life Orb, just so you can increase its damage it gives out with the ability of Terrain Volt. Now, this effect ignores the abilities of other Pokemon, which is excellent, especially with certain types. Its moveset is Ice Beam, just for those tricky dragon types. Fusion Bolt, which is a heavy hitter of a move. Then we have the Hidden Power of Fire, again just to confuse the opponent or take active surprise when they come up against a ice type. And then lastly we have Roost, which is just perfect just to really gain back any sort of health if you're quite low on it, just allowing you to reutilize the Pokemon over and over. Get rid of the flying type in case you come up against a thunder type, etc, etc. Lastly, full IV spread. The EV is 4 on HP, 252 on special attack, and 252 on speed. And its naive nature increases that speed, hopefully again allows you to outspeed quite a good number of Pokemon. So this is how we go, a little different from the first set, but we'll see how we get on with it. Okay, so to begin with, we are facing off against Ambipom, Lucario, Houndoom, Ditto, Sableye, and Lugia. So to begin with, we throw out Venusaur first this time. See how we get on, Mega Evolve that straight away and try and get a Leech Seed onto that Lugia. So that's Flying and Psychic type, I believe. So the quicker we can get that off, the better. Fortunately, get that Sludge Bomb off. Unfortunately, don't get the Poison, which would have been ideal. So we try that again. It brings in the Lucario. Unfortunately, it's immune. Try and Leech Seed it. The more we can get these off onto these different Pokemon, the more we just gradually deplete their health, especially Lucarios. Can be quite frustrating to fight against. So the Hidden Power, just try with a bit of fire. It does a little bit of damage, takes it to just under half health. So we try bringing in the Tapu Koko. Hopefully this is one Pokemon that can outspeed it and gets taken out straight away. That is a shame. So from here I try bringing out the Kyurem-Black for the first time, see how I get on using that. Now from here we know it's Fighting and Steel, so we try going for that Thunder and unfortunately get taken out in one hit. So it's not looking good so far. So now we try the Toxapex, see how we get on, a bit more bulky. Try and get those toxic spikes, see if we can get poison between shifts between Pokemon. Get that Scald off, which might be yep, and it is a flinch. Let's try that one more time. The good thing about Toxapex is it's not so much a hitter, it's more for a tactical standpoint between the burns, recovery and the poisons. Mostly just stalling out, trying to make the wait out the opponent as it slowly suffers. So we try, takes that hit not so well as I would have liked. Try and get another Scald off, gets the burn. That's what we want, as that will just very gradually take that Amber Palm out, even if it does become a pain. So now we bring out the Heatran. Should be hopefully able to absorb anything the Amber Palm take. Lose the leftovers though, which isn't ideal. The burn does take it out. So now Lugia is out. Unfortunately doesn't take the burn because it is a flying type. Doesn't take the toxic spike, sorry. But the toxic does get the poison, which is perfect for us. It brings in the Houndoom. Unfortunately it doesn't do any damage with the Lava Plume, so we swap in Toxapex, get a water type out. Unfortunately Dark Pulse brings us down to quarter health, and unfortunately takes us out by outspeeding us. Now we're bringing Landorus, hopefully should be faster, and the Intimidate brings down its power. Now we get the Z move, which unfortunately we have flinched, so we'll try that again one more time. Unfortunately that means Dark Pulse takes us out. Now it's 2 to 5, so we bring back out the Heatran. Try and get an earth power onto it, so it'll be super effective and takes out the majority of the health. And we know it's not going to look good, so bring in Mega Venusaur, absorbs the hit fairly well. Now we're in a tricky position because unless we can get that coming off, and Venusaur's unfortunately taken out. The Houndoom's just too quick for us now at this point. So for here we just try again. Ground type move, and we're unfortunately outsped and taken out. Okay, this time we're against our Rayquaza, Greninja, Landorus, Groudon, Drifblim and Eevee. He starts off with the Rayquaza and bring out the Venusaur to begin with, just so we could get that Mega Evolution off straight away and try and Leech Seed it. This personally I thought would be quite useful. Rayquaza is always a tricky one to try and take down, so the quicker I can really get something on it that will automatically start reducing its HP from the beginning is, I feel that would be more useful going forward. Now unfortunately it's Mega Evolved, will outspeed me. Unfortunately also has Flamethrower, which is rather scary for Venusaur, although it takes solid hit and still has most of its HP, which is ace, but don't want to take any more chances. So really we're looking for something with an Ice Beam or a Fairy type move that could potentially do more damage, as Rayquaza is a Dragon type. So we try bring out Tapu Koko, takes quite a hit. We try and get that Ice Beam, or apologies, Hidden Power Ice off. Be interesting to see if it does outspeed me, bearing in mind everything we've put onto Tapu Koko. Clearly Codred 27 is needing some time to think about this. Unfortunately Tapu Koko is also burned. The only thing with it with Tapu Koko. It is very good because it is fairy type as well, which is also very useful against the dragon type Rayquaza, but really is not capable of taking too many hits at this point. So they bring in the Drift Bloom, Hidden Power, still super effective, takes about a third the damage there, which is useful, but we are still taking hits from this burn. So if we get this Volt Switch out, which takes it down thankfully, and now we can switch into something else, give them a break, bring out Landorus so we maintain the speed on the opponent, and the opponent brings up their Eevee. Now this shouldn't be too bad, we have a fighting type move, we'll outspeed it and take it out in one hit. Now we do take a reduction in our attack and defense values, but that's at least 2 down for the opponent to our 6. Now Landorus so far has been pretty solid, mainly due to its speed and ground type abilities. Groudon's come out, it's a Mega Groudon, or Primal Groudon, which is quite nasty to deal with. We could maybe outspeed it and have maybe tried an Earthquake on it. I think to be safe for this, is because it is ground and fire, is to just bring out our water type. Takes a solid hit from Solar Beam, which I'm very much surprised and happy with at the same time. Could have been much worse, and we go for the Scald. Now Toxapex isn't very big on the offensive side. Unfortunately we fail with the Scald. Did take a solid hit with Thunderbolt and still live to tell the tale. So now we bring in the Kyurem-Black. Takes a hit from that Thunderbolt, doesn't do too much damage, which is good. And we try and hit it with that Ice Beam, try and take it out. Takes 2/3 damage though, which is very good. The Kyurem has the bulk to take on that Solar Beam. Now here I used Roost just to try and make sure we're not taking any risks at this point, just make sure that we are at full health and we don't accidentally get outsped with something that just causes us to lose Kyurem here. And we get the Ice Beam, which takes out the Mega Rayquaza, which is brilliant because that is the one Pokemon I probably most concerned about on the opponent's team. Hydro Pump solid, but doesn't do too much because we are Ice type. Then we hit it with the Ice Beam, which leaves it with the Greninja with 1% health. The Greninja goes for the Ice Beam, doesn't do too much. Roost, now we're back in good health again. Now it's just a decision of how we take it out. We try the Ice Beam again, resist the Hydro Pump. That's the Greninja out. So from here, the opponent only has 2 ground type Pokemon, which should now be fairly easy to go against. It's pretty consistent with what they have left, so as long as we can find something that it doesn't either outspeed or is not effective against, Venusaur solidly takes the hit without so much damage taken. Lava Plume, quite scary. It keeps us with some health though, that thick fat doing what it needs to do. Groudon poisoned with 1% health as well. From here we don't want to take any risks, we want to keep Venusaur in this, so we bring back out Toxapex, solidly takes that Lava Plume, and Groudon takes itself out with the poison. That just leaves Landorus. So ground type against water type, we can all see how this is going to go. It will most likely outspeed us, but if we can get the Scald, super effective damage, hopefully get the burn, and then it's just a case of waiting it out. It's just with the Earthquake, which unfortunately does take us out, which is very unfortunate. Now we're 3-1. Now from here it can take a change, but we decide to go head on Landorus with our own Landorus and get that Intimidate off, so that Earthquake damage should hopefully be a lot less. And then we'll go for our own Earthquake, which has been heightened, and we've added so much speed to the Landorus that hopefully we can outspeed the opponent at this point. And we do, and unfortunately myself and the opponent both make rookie mistakes with the Earthquake. But we go in with the superpower, see what kind of damage that would do. It doesn't do too much. We do take a fair bit of damage with the Outrage though. So we try a rock type move with the Stone Edge. Again, doesn't do too much. That Outrage doing a quite scary amount, but the opponent is confused now. So I think we either go for the Z move or we switch, and we switch to the Heatran, which is very bulky, should hopefully absorb enough hits. And then from here we're looking to see if we can get the Toxic on it, see if we can get a Poison, which unfortunately misses. Leftovers recover most of the hit we take. Heatran very much like Mega Venusaur, just absorbing the majority of hits it takes, and we do get the Toxic off, which is brilliant because now it's just a matter of time. We could keep attacking or we could just wait him out. So we'll come back with the Mega Venusaur, which unfortunately wasn't the best move. We get taken out with one hit. Bye bye Venusaur. So we just bring Heatran back in, go for another Lava Plume, just slowly chip away at Landorus here. Landorus goes for another Outrage, does not so much. Then we go for Lava Bloom, take it out, and we are victorious. So that was another way of utilising Venusaur. If there's any other way you would recommend or anything I did wrong, we're all about improving here at the Rookie Shack. So if there's anything you think I could improve on or have done better, please comment below, like, rate and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.